Cincinnati Bengals are the number one team in the AFC right now. And I'm just thinking back to draft season when so many people were up in arms with the Bengals taking Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell. And you never want to run an early victory lap, but I think you can run a victory lap right now if you were one of the smart people out there who was talking about, hey, no, they should take Jamar Chase. He gives Joe Burrow the opportunity to have a potentially great season for that offense to be really good. They're 5-2, 2-0 in the division, 3-0 in the conference.
2-0 road on the division too.
Yeah, true. Raiders are also 5-2. So are the Titans. Raiders obviously atop by virtue of the fact that the Chargers had a bye this week, atop the AFC West. Titans atop the South. The Bills had a bye this week as well. They are atop the East. Are the Bengals for real?
I think you have to take them seriously now. Yep. And I was wrong a little bit. Oh, no, I was wrong. I thought, and on the PFF live show, which NFL live show, which is every Sunday morning at 11, I looked and I said I liked the Ravens today. We liked the Ravens in a teaser on our look ahead lines last week. And I thought to myself, okay, the last year's spread between Bengals and Ravens when Burrow was in the lineup was 12.5. And it was 6.5 this week, depending upon where you got it. And I said, look, I think it's extremely reasonable to say that the Bengals have improved, and that improvement is real, and still say it stopped short of a 6-point improvement. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I know there are other factors, but even you're talking about a multiple-point improvement over last year. And I think a couple of things are clear. And I said this on the show this morning. Baltimore has 2 really impressive wins, a win against Kansas City and a win against the Chargers. The Kansas City win looks a lot less impressive now than when it happened. And the Chargers, if you look at some of our fundamentals, the Chargers are kind of a lucky team, right? Aside from that, you have a loss to the Raiders, a game that you blew, a game where you needed a historic field goal to beat Detroit, who has still not won a game. You know what I mean? Like, yep. I think the Ravens maybe were less impressive going in than we thought. And they're a team that after years of investing in that defense and having a very depth-filled defense, today found out what it's like not to have as many good corners. And Cincinnati is finding out the bounty that you can have when you have multiple good wide receivers. That was always the promise of Chase. You put Chase with Higgins, a second-round pick last year, and Tyler Boyd, a multiple-time 1,000-yard receiver, and you can play good offense.
Yep.
And then on defense, sneakily, the Bengals don't have that many weaknesses. Their secondary is fine. Their linebackers are okay, and they get good pass rush as we saw today. So, yeah, the Bengals are for real. I think – they have a really hard schedule coming into today. They had the second hardest schedule moving forward. So that's obviously something to keep your expectations. But, they're a missed field goal away from being 6-1 at this point.
My stat, I had a great Kyler Murray stat last week. My stat of the week this week is Joe Burrow. You know what the Ravens like to do? They like to blitz. In week 5 last year, Joe Burrow and the Bengals faced the Ravens. And he had a 29 PFF grade against the blitz. That's not good. By far, his lowest PFF grade against the blitz all year. He had about pending review, an 80 PFF grade against the blitz. He went 11 for 17, 267, 2 touchdowns against the Ravens blitz. In week 5 last year, he went 10 for 18, 78 yards, 2 interceptions. That is a massive improvement. And if you're telling me that Jamar Chase getting open early in routes, having confidence throwing him the football doesn't change that, then I don't know what game you're watching. But Joe Burrow's improvement, he has a 93 PFF passing grade against the blitz this year compared to a 66 last year. That is incredible, and that's why the Bengals, I think, are for real. They play the Ravens next week. What would the spread in that game be? Neutral field.
Ravens, Bengals. Neutral field, Ravens -2.5.
Yeah, and that I think is really impressive.
I mean,
Like really, really impressive. Remember at preseason when we were talking about like who will win more games, Steelers or Bengals? Like I'll take the Bengals.
Yeah,
like,
everybody
easy.
else liked the Bengals. Yeah,
Easy.
But we also let me find this because I would be pretty proud of this. Coach of the year, I do have some Zach Taylor.
Oh no.
I also have Zach Wilson Rookie of the Year, so don't crown me yet. I have here are my 3 Coach of the Year bets, and you'll laugh at all these. Zach Taylor 30-1, Matt Nagy 30-1,
Oh, buddy.
Joe Judge 20-1. Because the Joe Judge being a football guy.
Yeah.
We bet that on the show back when we were doing the show remotely when you were in LA for a month. I also have Matt Corral 27-1 to win the Heisman at the same time. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Congrats.
But the Zach Taylor thing was very much this way, right? Like the Coach of the Year is not necessarily who did the best job. It's who overcame expectations.
Yep.
And if you're a coach who is in the top 5 for who's going to get fired, and then you're taking a team to a division title or near that, you're going to win Coach of the Year, right? Like, and so good on him. That was another reason why I liked, and I was texting back and forth with somebody who's very close with the Ravens, and I was like, and they were like, who do you like in this game? And I was like, well, I like that. I like you guys. And it was like, and I was like, here's why. And I'm like, I also think Harbaugh and you guys, I think Harbaugh's staff is just so much better than Cincinnati. Maybe we have to reevaluate that. Or, and I said this on the live show this morning, or when you look at the best teams in the NFL, maybe it's just the right people who are getting the most power. So you look at Dallas, and we're all going to talk about McCarthy and his end of game stuff and his clock management stuff, and it's all awful. But like, who has the power over that team? It's Dak and Kellen Moore. Who has the power over the Bengals? It's Joe Burrow, right? And at some point, that you can overcome a coach who maybe might not be the best if you have a QB like that.